Hey Fruit Faces, it's KlaireeBerry. I want to talk with you guys today about newbies, becoming vegan, going vegan, staying vegan, and all that. I run a YouTube group called Vegan Kansas City, and we have had so many newbies coming through, and I think there was a really big spike after What the Health came out. And I know that veganism across the country, across the world, is just doing nothing but getting bigger. So I want to make sure that there's a lot of good resources. Of course, there's tons of other people's videos that you can check out and other resources about going vegan and staying vegan. But of course, I just have to put my 2 cents in here. I've been vegan a little over 3.5 years now. Just had my half vegan anniversary, I guess you could say. So yeah, I'm counting up to 4 years, and I absolutely love it. I feel like I'm thriving on it. I'm definitely more fit now. I have a lower weight at a more consistent basis, and it's much easier. I eat more, but I keep a lower weight. It's great. It's absolutely fabulous. It changed my life. I have other videos on kind of what it's done to me and all of that, so check those out. It's definitely helped with a lot of stuff for me, both like mentally and emotionally, physiologically, inside and out, and all of that. But I just want to give you guys my top 10 reasons kind of off the top of my head today. If you have any questions or anything you want me to, answer or talk about, leave them below, or you can go to my Tumblr if you want to leave it anonymously. That's perfectly fine. Just KlaireeBerry on Tumblr as well. So basically, I'm just going to get right in here. My first tip is to just jump in. Just do it. Don't feel like you need to wait until you learn more about it or are more motivated, or like you have all the supplements you need. I'll talk about that more like in a second too. But basically, I think a lot of people are scared, because of myths and, misinformation that's out there. A lot of people are scared that they're going to have nutritional deficiencies if they go vegan. And especially right off the bat, you're definitely not going to. In fact, I would bet that most people moving on to a vegan lifestyle, especially from a standard American diet, are definitely going to be getting way more nutrients than they ever have before. And, again, there's different ways to do veganism, and I'll kind of talk about that in a little bit too. But just make the choice, even if you're saying, I'm going to try this for a month or so. Definitely give yourself, I would say, a whole month, because you don't want to just do 2 weeks because of detox. And again, I'll talk about that in a second too. But I think you really need to at least give it a month before you really can determine like how it's making you feel and stuff like that. And you want to do it right. So just do it though. Just jump in. Yes, learn and all of that, but just jump in, make it a challenge. Put your mind to it and do it, and have your reasons. If you need to write out your reasons or remind yourself of your reasons. For me, it just kind of happened. I really just kind of decided I can't do this anymore. Again, I have other videos on the reasons. Check out my playlist. But I just decided. And I think a lot of people are like that. But then I think a lot of people have different expectations or different reasons. And again, I'll talk about that in a little bit too. But yeah, number one is just do it. Just go for it. Okay? Don't worry about it. Try to eat healthy and all of that. So my second tip is to beware of detox. Like I said, you want to give yourself at least a month, because from your first couple weeks, you're probably going to have some detox symptoms. Most people do, I think. I feel like in my own experience, I thought I was like having a cold afterwards, which was really confusing because I thought, oh, veganism is supposed to make you so healthy, right? So it was a little confusing until I realized like that's what's going on. You don't want to be confused about that. You just want to know that like detox is going to happen, and it can manifest in so many different ways. I know some people get a really like a pain in their gut, and if you get that, just take a little bit of like baking soda or whatever in water, and it should go right away. Some people are tired. Some people get like more hyper. Some people have digestive issues or whatever, lots of farting going on. Sometimes people notice like a sulfury smell, and all of that's just your body, making those changes that it needs to make. So don't, just be aware of it. Don't be scared of it. If you really wanted to avoid it, you could probably go slower. But again, I really think as detrimental as meat and animal products are to your body, you really should just stop taking them, and to the environment and to the animals, like all of the reasons, and to people, other people as well. It's, again, check my playlist if you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just beware that it's a thing and that it's probably going to happen. It might happen. and that way you won't be confused and like quit within the first 2 weeks because you feel like shit. So yeah, number 3, the supplement factor. Again, like I said, people are like, oh, I don't know what supplements to take, I'm gonna have all these nutritional deficiencies, it's gonna hurt me if I go vegan. No, it's only gonna help you. It's gonna take a while for nutritional deficiencies to manifest, and a lot of times what I see is that people's nutritional deficiencies actually go away. If you are anemic, for instance, if you've been anemic all your life, you might try going vegan and then notice that, wow, all of a sudden you don't have any problems with this, because the dairy actually kind of blocks the absorption of calcium and all that. And there's other nutrients that are kind of tied up in there. But, you know, you do want to do your research. You do want to get knowledgeable. You do probably want to end up taking some supplements. I take vitamin D. I take a B12. I don't take them I take my D a lot. Because it's a very low dose right now what I'm taking, but I don't take my vitamin B12 every day. That's something that, again, takes a long time before your stores are going to get low enough to make a difference in your health for most people. If you're already deficient, you know, which a lot of meat eaters are as well, then, you know, obviously you want to have problems. And if you can, you probably want to just get your, you know, nutrient levels checked. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't avoid all supplements. You know, you might take a good like whole food, you know, supplement, Garden of Life or something like that. I really like those. And yeah, supplements, you know, you want to be aware of things like zinc and iron and stuff like that. But again, probably going to be mostly a non-issue and very easy. Like if you can't afford the supplements right away, don't worry about it. Still go vegan now and just get the supplements when you can. So let's see, moving on to number 4. I would say try out and allow yourself to, like, if you have cravings, definitely like try out some vegan cheeses and some vegan, you know, fake meats and stuff like that. But don't rely on these things like every single day. I mean, a lot of people do and have no problems, but if you're looking to make health benefits and feel better than you did, then, you know, you probably want to just kind of lower that stuff. And then, you know, understand that your tastes are going to change. Actually, that's later. So we'll get there. But yeah, there's a lot of salt, there's a lot of fat, and again, if you're eating a lot of meat, then you probably won't notice a lot of difference eating those things. But like for me, I kind of wish I wouldn't have relied. Again, it's fun to try them out, and it's a good way to, you know, get into it. It's also a good way to show other people, like, hey, you can still eat great foods, and if you're not really worried about your health, then eat all the fake meat and cheese you want. I recommend chow cheese. Chow cheese is my favorite. It's the only one that I can eat like just a slice of without even melting it, and it is like cheese to me. Chow cheese, we like field roast for the meats, and Gardein is probably our favorite brand. So, you know, accept them, but just don't like over rely on them. You know, you want to throw your, like, if you're trying to get your protein, you want to do some organic tofu or soybeans or you know, beans. Beans are my absolute favorite. Bean burritos, yum. You can't get better with all the veggies and all that stuff. Oh, so good. Anyway, so moving on, number 5 kind of goes back to the detox thing. Don't expect miracles right away. Like I kind of was, and again, when I had that detox, it really threw me off. And I think a lot of people, you know, hear all these claims, which are completely valid. Like I actually have claims that I make that are true, that, you know, I lost symptoms that I had of things that I was about to go to the doctor for and stuff like that, and they just literally went right away within months. However, not everybody is like that. You know, for every story that you hear, there's probably 2 or 3 people who really don't notice anything right away. Basically, the idea is that you have spent probably your whole entire life eating meat and dairy and animal products. And so all the damage that's been done is going to take a little bit of time. It's not like a miracle cure that's going to happen. And really, honestly, nothing is. It's kind of weird because, like, on one hand, like, you might feel like a whole new person. A lot of people do after because, like, certain things will change. Like, your digestion's going to change. You know, you're going to start peeing and pooping probably a lot more if you're eating a lot of whole food, plant-based type of stuff. So in a way, you are going to be like a different person, and mentally and emotionally, you know, there's a lot of changes that are going to probably happen, and did for me. But again, it wasn't super, super set in. And it just wasn't like, I just expected like, oh, lose all this weight. And people do lose weight. So if it happens for you, great. But I would say just don't expect that so that you're not let down. It's like hope for the best, plan for the worst sort of thing. So that way you won't be disappointed, and you'll know that you're just doing like a lot for your health, like even that you can't see. Like I always relate this to like the bodybuilders, you know, at the gym who are like eating all this meat, clogging their arteries on the inside, but on the outside they appear healthy. Well, think about a lot of the cleansing and the renovations that are going to be going on in your body are happening inside, and you won't necessarily, like a lot of people notice skin changes or whatever, but you really won't notice like, wow, my arteries are getting cleared up. Like you just don't notice it. You know, you may get more energy or whatever, but like I said, it might come after the detox. So just don't, you know, put all your eggs in that basket. Vegan eggs, by the way. So yeah, I would say, just to throw this in here, I didn't actually write this down. I'll throw that in number 7. Okay. So number 6 is, this is kind of a mental thing for me. Like, don't expect other people to follow you just because you've done all this research and you decided to go vegan and you're so excited about it. Like, it's kind of a letdown because, like, for me, I did so much research and I started making videos and I started trying to post about stuff, and I just kind of expected more people to go vegan, to be like, wow, you know, you're right, and wow, you did all this research. Like, thank you for sharing this with us and all of this stuff. And you know, I had a couple people like try to go vegan. I've had a handful of people kind of like try to go vegan and just kind of, you know, not really stick with it. Again, I think maybe they had the wrong mentality or whatever, you know, they just didn't focus on it enough. I don't know. But yeah, don't expect people to just follow you, and but don't be afraid to try to get them to either. So number 7 is just learn. You know, keep learning. Join groups on Facebook, communities, watch YouTube videos, follow a lot of vegan people on Instagram. The more ideas, the more knowledge, everything that you get, the better off you're going to be, and the more you're going to be able to help other people in the future. And it's really important, I think, for vegans to be able to not necessarily debate people, but just to at least know what they're talking about, you know, so that you can kind of influence the world in that way. So number 8 is to realize that your taste right now are just addictions. Like meat and salt and fat in general are not inherent tastes. Really, the only inherent taste we have is breast milk, and it's mostly sweet taste. There's like 5% fat in breast milk. So, you know, just realize that your body actually, you know, I always say like people's taste buds are just so perverted with excitotoxins, salt, all these other chemicals. So, and they really do, like, they specifically formulate the foods that, you know, they sell at the grocery store, the food-like substances to play on your brain in a way that tricks you. That's what excitotoxins do. They trick your body into thinking that you're getting all of these nutrients in one. So in your mind is like, oh, this is so satiating, when in fact there's like, it's empty calories. So just realize that everything that you love, that you think you have to have, that you're craving right now, it will go away. And that, I think, is one of the most exciting things about veganism, is watching these cravings go away and realizing that you're going back to basics, you're going back to nature, what your body actually wants. And also to realize, wow, I can actually love eating healthy foods. And these healthy foods taste so good. Like, that's an amazing feeling. Kind of everything just falls together, and then you're just so much more healthier. So just realize that, just have that in your mind. I think a lot of people also get emotionally attached to certain foods. And with that, I would just say, I always tell people, just take your favorite flavors out of certain foods. Most of the flavors that like the true flavors that we put on our foods are all vegan. So except for like bacon grease. I mean, that's just one that you can actually find, like soy bacon bits and all this different stuff. Don't be afraid of soy either. Just get it organic. Make sure you get it organic if you can, or non-GMO at the very least. So yeah, just definitely take the foods and the flavors of your favorite foods and just cut out the unhealthy, the meat parts. And what you're left with is, you know, and you can add in other things, like if you had, you know, fake meat, you can, or if you had meat and you could do fake meat, or if you know, you can do tofu for eggs, and just different things. Like, you'll just notice that you're basically having the same thing, and that your body and your taste buds will really get used to it. So, okay, number 9. This, I almost feel like this should have been up at the top because it's so important. I personally, I mean, I know some people are trying out keto. I've never seen a lot of people that like do it long term. Like apparently you can do a low carb vegan diet, but for the most part, people tend to eat, and especially people that I've seen that are successful with it, eat a lot of carbs, especially fruit. And I highly recommend this. I attribute this with my actual, I attribute high carb veganism with my success in veganism. 100%. I honestly do not think that if I tried to go vegan that I would have stuck with it at all if I wasn't doing high carb. And I think that might have been the reason why the people who I've all, attempted to get to go vegan didn't stay vegan, is because none of them actually committed to high carb. So high carb is just the way to live. I've got so many videos on it, so many things. We come from the apes. We share 98% of our, DNA with apes. We have the same digestive system. Yeah, theirs is a little bit longer to, so they can eat more like roughage, and that's it. They're eating like shoots and like raw fruit and different things like that. So carbs are where it's at, though. Our body runs on carbs. People think because our brain is made out of fat that our brain runs on fat, but it doesn't. It runs on carbs exclusively. And if you don't get enough carbs, you're going to be tired, sluggish, cranky. And one of the main things, especially when you're starting, is you're going to be freaking hungrier. Fat just doesn't fill up your stomach. And when you're eating a vegan diet, you need to really fill up that stomach, get those nutrients in. And fruit is the perfect food for us. So yeah, if you want to know more, definitely just check out my playlist once again. So the last thing kind of goes along with this, with the high carb aspect, is just stay prepared. Because the main time that people cheat, I would say, is if they're hungry, obviously. And once you realize that, I think when some people, they eat and they're eating this nutritionally devoid stuff, and they're eating a lot of fatty meals. They're like, oh, checking the calories and the fat, and then they're like, oh, well, I just ate like too many calories and too much fat, so I'm supposed to be full now, but they're not full because, once again, their stomach is like only filled up this much with a bunch of fat. Like when you actually fill yourself up, and potatoes, by the way, are the most satiating food in the world. So use those and keep it low fat so you can eat a lot of them. You're going to be more satiated. But you need to plan ahead, and you need to always have food with you. I like to usually try, if I'm going to be out for more than a few hours, to have both a savory and a sweet food with me. I always want what I don't have. So be prepared. Take food with you. Eat before you go out if you're going out with family or friends. And this is just going to help you not cheat, because let's face it, we need food, and the fact is we need carbs. And even if, like I said, you ate a high fat meal and then you're expecting to not be tempted if you're going out to eat, or going over to your friend's house and they have all this non-vegan food, like, first of all, especially in the beginning in transition, a lot of times if you're eating high carb too, like, the food's not going to fill you up for very long. Like, you can fill it up, but it's going to go through fast. So you're going to get hungry, and if you don't have anything else to eat, then you're gonna get undercarbed, and most people are gonna, just reach for the food that's in front of them and be tempted by it. And the only times that I messed up in the beginning, this was when it was like I was out, there was food right in front of me, and I was so hungry that I just had to eat it. And if you do mess up, like, don't beat yourself up for it. Like, there's no rule that, I know everybody's like obsessed with like being vegan and not being vegan, and like, you don't have to be like 100% vegan or not. Like, it's not all or nothing. Like, the definition of veganism to me, and the definition that I use, the original definition, includes the phrase if and when possible, if at all possible. So you do what you can when you can. There's this idea of a vegan umbrella, and especially in the beginning, you're gonna be eating foods you think are vegan and they're not. You're gonna be using products that you think are vegan and they're not. Your cars, the roads, there's like lots of things out there, glue and football and basketball stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there, and you can't beat yourself up over it. You just have to keep learning and do the best you can. So those are my 10 top tips for now. I'm going to be, again, doing a lot more videos about this. So a lot of them will be like question and answer styles. And just I want to throw as much information to the newbies as I can so that they can stay with it and yeah, and enjoy it and be healthy on it. It's kind of my purpose here, my purpose in life right now. So yeah, so like I said, don't forget to leave me any comments, like, follow, subscribe, etc. KlaireeBerry all over the interwebs. And yeah, don't forget to eat your fruit. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.